Judges chapter 6. There was peace in Israel for about 40 years. Then, once again, the Israelites started disobeying the Lord, so he let the nations of Midian control Israel for 7 years. The Midianites were so cruel that many Israelites ran to the mountains and hid in caves. Every time the Israelites would plant crops, the Midianites invaded Israel together with the Amalekites and other eastern nations. They rode in on their camels, set up their tents, and then let their livestock eat the crops as far as the town of Gaza. The Midianites stole food, sheep, cattle, and donkeys. Like a swarm of locusts, they couldn't be counted, and they ruined the land wherever they went. He's being quite poetic there, isn't he? Like a swarm of locusts. The Midianites took almost everything that belonged to the Israelites, and the Israelites begged the Lord for help. Then the Lord sent a prophet to them with this message. A prophet. Yeah, we don't need to know his name. Do you know his name? Who's this prophet? He's unnamed prophet. So some unnamed prophet came to them with this message. I am the Lord God of Israel, so listen to what I say. You were slaves in Egypt, but I set you free and led you out of Egypt into this land. And when nations here made life miserable for you, I rescued you and helped you get rid of them and take their land. I am your God, and I told you not to worship Amorite gods, even though you are living in the land of the Amorites. But you refused to listen. One day, an angel from the Lord went to the town of Ophrah and sat down under the big tree that belonged to Joash, a member of the Abisi clan. A big tree, like an oak. Apparently, it's not a male oak. Apparently, it's the female oak. And interesting that the angel decided to appear under this female oak tree. And this oak tree is apparently in the Bible previously. I think it could be the same oak tree that Noah traveled to and camped, and then angels came to him as well. And I think altar has been set up on this oak tree about 7 times in the Bible. So it's not just a normal big tree. It's a female big tree that has a lot of history. And so he appeared in front of the big tree. Joshua's son Gideon was nearby, thrashing grain in a shallow pit where he couldn't be seen by the Midianites. So they're hiding all their grain, and he's working there in this pit because they're hiding it. So he's a worker. So it's the grain that's hiding. I wonder if Gideon was the scaredy hider as well, because that's what I was told in my Sunday school. So Gideon was nearby threshing grain in his shallow pit where he couldn't be seen by the Midianites. I think that's kind of smart. The angel appeared and spoke to Gideon. The Lord is helping you, and you are a strong warrior. Maybe because all the rest of the guys were in the caves hiding. He wasn't hiding. He was working the grain where they will come and attack first. So maybe he's not as scaredy cat as what we're told. The real scaredy cats are in the cave. We were just told that they come, armies come, and they let their animals eat the grain. So where is he? He's looking after the grain. He'll have to fight them on his own if they turn up. Maybe he's not as scaredy cat as we thought. So he said, "The Lord is helping you. Hey, you are a strong warrior." Yeah, the angel noticed that too. Gideon answered, "Please don't take this the wrong way." The other interesting thing is, normal angels usually come in and say, "Fear not." This angel didn't tell him to fear not. That's interesting. But Gideon answered, "Please don't take this the wrong way. But if the Lord is helping us, then why have all of these awful things happened? We've heard how the Lord performed miracles and rescued our ancestors from Egypt, but those things happened long ago. Now the Lord has abandoned us to the Midianites." He's giving it to him all straight away. He's ready to fight. This angel comes. He doesn't tell him to fear not. He just goes, "Come on, bro. Where's all these things, all amazing things that's happened to my ancestors? Bring it on." Then the Lord himself said, "Gideon, you'll be strong because I am giving you the power to rescue Israel from the Midianites." Gideon replied, "But how can I rescue Israel? My clan is the weakest one in Manasseh, and everyone else in my family is more important than I am." "Gideon," the Lord answered, "you can rescue Israel because I am going to help you. Defeat the Midianites will be as easy as beating up one man." Gideon said, "It's hard to believe that I'm actually talking to the Lord. Please do something so I know that you really are the Lord. And wait here until I bring you an offering." "All right, I'll wait," answered the Lord. Yeah, so the Lord has a little bit of a wait while he's saying, "I don't believe you. You're not the Lord." "Okay, I'll sit here. Keep going. Bring back an offering. You don't believe I'm the Lord." Gideon went home and killed a young goat, then started boiling the meat. Next, he opened a big bag of flour and made it into thin bread. Apparently, the amount of flour he took, you need maybe a little bit. He used 6 times as much flour as he needed. So he was really giving a lot to this thing. Too much, way much more than what was expected. He gave heaps of flour. When the meat was done, he put it in a basket and poured the broth into the clay cooking pot. He took the meat, the broth, and the bread and placed them under the big tree. That big tree we were talking about earlier. It's had altars under it before. It's kind of special. God's angel said, "Gideon, put the meat and the bread on this rock and pour the broth over them." I wonder what that rock was. Was sacrifices been done there before? I don't know. And interesting, he had to pour the broth over it. So that reminds me of Elijah when he had to pour water on the stuff. And then what happened? Something similar to this. Gideon did as he was told. The angel was holding a walking stick and he touched the meat and the bread with the end of the stick. Flames jumped from the rock and burnt up the meat and the bread. There it is, the fire of God. When Gideon looked, the angel was gone. Set it on fire and disappeared. There goes the angel of God. Gideon realized that he had seen one of the God's angels, and he said, "Oh," he exclaimed, "now I'm going to die." "Calm down," the Lord told Gideon. And apparently, the word God or Lord here is different to the other times we heard Lord. Before it was Jehovah, so provider, whereas now God, when God said, it's Elohim, which is speaking spirit. Why is there a difference? I don't know. You tell me. Why? Why is God talking as a provider, Jehovah, and then after the sacrifice, after the burning, how God was coming to him, changed to Elohim. So speaking, does it mean speaking spirit? Something like that. I haven't got time to research this. You research it for me. And Elohim, so it changed to him as speaking spirit. So interesting that the way God came to him changed. Interesting. So, calm down, the Lord, speaking spirit, told Gideon. There's nothing to be afraid of. You're not going to die. Because, of course, if you see God, then we've been told that no one can see God and live. Gideon built an altar for worshipping the Lord and called it, "The Lord Calms Our Fears." It still stands there in Ophrah, a town in the territory of the Abitsa clan. Interesting. I wonder how many altars have been built under that Zach tree. And I have a feeling that a Zach tree is still alive now. And there could, yeah. I think it's in a monastery, yeah, or something like that, and it's still growing. Very interesting. Cool. See you next time.